Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the stream. I'm going to pull this up to make sure, like always, I am streaming. Because I would hate to just be sitting here talking to myself, not recording, not doing anything. Yes, we are live. Perfect. Welcome, everybody. Well, happy Wednesday. Today is, what is today? May 29th, 2024. And a lot of things happened in the golf world this past week. Some crazy stuff, some sad stuff, um, some interesting stuff. Just a lot. It felt like a very long week. I don't know if it felt like that to you guys or not, but it felt like a very long week. Az Sep, what's up, buddy? Thank you for being here. Welcome to the live stream. First, just I'm gonna address uh, the sad part because it is it really it really sucked to hear what happened to Grayson. And I personally have never met Grayson face to face. Grayson actually followed my account, the Cartbarn guys, and there was a few times he recognized somebody that was on my page or my channel, and he would send a DM and he would say some stuff to us, say stuff to me, and he was always nice to me. But I think I followed Grayson for almost his entire PGA Tour career, and I got to see his battles with what he was going through, and you never think that somebody would come to the point to taking their own life, but I mean. You look at Grayson and what has happened to him, and again, I don't know Grayson. I don't know. I can't speak too deep on this. But just from an outside view and watching, it's just it sucks. It was not something that I wanted to open up my phone to and see. And I really feel like the whole golf community, whether you liked them, you didn't like them, you knew them, you didn't know them. I mean, I think the whole golf world was affected by that. And I know Peter Milani went on and did the interview, and he said it very best. Those guys out there and the guys that I play against, the guys on the Corn Ferry Tour, we're under so much pressure to perform. I don't think people understand quite how difficult it is mentally for us sometimes being out there when you're struggling and having to feel like you have to perform and be perfect all the time. I think with a combination of some bad luck and some whatever bad stuff, it can really eat at you. And if you don't control it, you don't talk about it, yada yada yada. I mean, I hate even thinking that could be the conclusion, but apparently we witnessed what can happen. So, like everybody's been saying this week, try to show some support to your fellow friends. You never know exactly what somebody's going through, and you never know exactly how they're feeling inside. So, like everybody says, just tell your friends you love them every now and then. So yeah. I definitely cried, hearing that news. I was very taken back by the thought that it was that bad. So it sucks, and I really feel for Grayson's family and his friends and everybody who knew him. So it sucks. It just wasn't something that I had on my bingo card for the weekend, to say the least. And so Grayson, RIP, man. I hope you are pain free. But, whoo, getting choked up just thinking about that. But anyways, so yeah, Grayson, that was the big one, and then obviously Scotty Scheffler was the second big one. And at first, when it happened, it was huge. It was huge to me. I remember waking up when that morning that it happened, and the first thing I looked on my phone, and it was just boom, boom, Scotty's arrested. Scotty's arrested. And yeah, it was a big deal. But holy shit, has the media just taken this story and turned it into a monster. And it's really not that big of a deal. We have a situation where there was a misunderstanding. The cops were obviously dumbasses doing powering things that cops normally do. And Scotty was just at the wrong place at the wrong time. I mean, let's move on, people. I am so sick of seeing Ziri post about this, or every Dan Rappaport just giving every little update on this stupid mistrial of a case that should have never been anything at all. I'm I'm sick of it. Scotty, we all know Scotty's not a criminal. We all know Scotty didn't drag this cop. We saw the video. Let's move on. Let's forget about it. Do I think there needs to be some repercussions? Maybe some counseling, yada, 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 with those individual cops? Yes, absolutely. We got to have our police do maybe a little bit better than that. But you look at the whole situation. There was not a murder, but a guy died. The stress level had to have been high. It was early in the morning. It happens. This shit happens. And again, it just happened to happen to Scotty Scheffler, who's the number one golfer in the world. Unfortunately, these people didn't know who he was, and it turned it into way bigger of a deal than it actually should be. That's my rant on the Scotty Scheffler. I think we need to forget about it. Let's move on. They're going to handle those police officers the way they need to. And Scotty, I'm pretty sure, is probably sick of talking about this shit. As much as I'm sick of seeing it on social media. As much as I participate in the comments and all that stuff, I'm just like, who gives a shit, man? Who cares? Man, there's more things this is where we're at in golf right now. Golf is so boring that we are just fixated on this situation, this mishap that happened. But yeah, okay. So that's my rant on the whole Scotty Scheffler. Let's move on. It happened. It's done with. It was exciting. End of story. Yada, yada, yada. And also, by the way, just to let you guys know, I picked Scotty Scheffler. If you go back to the last VOD, that was my pick, and he almost did it. But I think he almost did it. Did he almost do it? Yeah, he almost did it. He came back. He shot a great round that third round. So, anyways, let's look at my fantasy. I think, last week my fantasy won $15 in that tournament. So our balance is back up. Didn't have to put any money into it. That's always a success. I think I took like 30 something or something. I don't know. It was a decent. I think Kevin Yu was the only person on my list that did not make the cut, which, God, Kevin, he's the one that I said that is going to be a winner on the PGA Tour here soon. So we got the Canadian RBC this next week. Let's talk about what really matters, Kyle. Buzzy versus Pup, a beer hole, last man standing wins. You know, that would be an absolute great match, but I'm sorry. Pup's got no chance in that. I don't think many people have a chance against Butsy going head-to-head, beer for beer, truly for truly, drink for drink, whatever you want to call it. I've seen Butsy in action with the beers flowing, and this man will outdrink and outperform on the golf course better than 99.9% of people. I would bet money on that. He somehow, there's a certain point where you see it and it's like good golf. It starts off good golf, maybe a little downhill on the bad golf, and then all of a sudden the drinks kick in right around that midpoint, and you see some shots that he pulls off that you're just going, what the hell was that? I mean, for instance, go watch one of the Pup versus Butsy videos. I think it was the one hole he beat him 5 and 6 or some shit like that. Butsy was almost, just hammered and just strum Pup. So even though that would be a good match, we need to find another challenger. Pup, I know we're still gonna do Pup versus Butsy videos. I absolutely love those videos, but I just don't think Pup will keep up, but Pup will get to a point where he's blacked out and he doesn't know what the hell's going on. We've seen this live, and he will just not be able to hit the golf ball. So, anyways, RBC Canadian Open. This is this week. I got a couple of buddies actually playing in it, which you see right here. Will Bateman, he's a absolute stud. Willie boy, he's an absolute unit of a golfer, left-hander. One of the better iron players I've probably played with. He's been out on I want to say he's on the Korn Ferry Tour. He won Canadian Tour a few years back to get out there. So watch out for Will. I'm pretty sure he got a special exemption there. And Jared Dutois. Jared practices over at, he's actually a graduate from ASU. One of those, another Canadian that if you look in the past results in this tournament, I think he was actually close to the lead, if not in the lead in this tournament a few years ago. So hometown kid, definitely going to be rooting for him, and I definitely have him on my team because those two guys are 7,000, and I know both of those guys can make a lot of birdies. So both of those guys won't be owned much. I may be the only actually lineup that has these two guys in it. So I need them to perform well. I want them to perform well. I mean, obviously, it's golf. Anything can happen. But, yeah. And then my studs here. I mean, I think this is just an absolute great lineup. I think one of these two guys have a chance to win. I obviously think Rory, I'm going to say Rory is the winner. I think he's just playing too good. I think this tournament sets up nicely for him. It's one of those tournaments that he's expected to win. He knows he's expected to win and has the ability to win. So Shane Lowry is playing well right now. I love Shane. He actually follows the account too. Just seems like an awesome guy. Corey Connors, another Canadian. As you can see the trend in the Canadians here. I got 3 Canadians on board. I don't know how you couldn't put Canadians in this lineup due to the fact that this is their hometown thing. And then Alex Noren, just an absolute ball striker. I have faith in this lineup. I feel like this is going to be a winning lineup. Okay, let's get to the Discord. This is not going to be a long stream today. Not too many people posted in the Discord. Like I say in the past, if you want me to analyze your golf swing, if you want me to help you out a little bit as much as I can via the Discord, just post your swing. Follow the Discord. Post your swing in there. I'm not charging anything for this. This is just out of the goodwill of my heart to look at your golf swing and give you a little advice, hopefully. All right, I had a couple questions first. Let's go back here. So that's the last video. Thanks for the feedback. You're welcome, CJ. I hope the grip is working out a little bit to your favor now. All right, Jim said, I watched the live stream back. You said to tell you what I was looking for on my swing, basically before hitting draws with the irons. The last year I switched to cuts or fades off the tees and draws with the irons. However, I feel like I've gotten to the point where if there's a hole that I need to draw the ball off the tee, I struggle to pull it off. Sometimes I do it and sometimes I don't. So basically what I'm asking is what tips or positions do I need to hit a draw more consistently when I need to? Jim, that's a great question. A lot to take in there. It sounds like if you know your golf swing and can pull off shots when you need to. I would say if there's a hole that you have to hit a draw, what I would do is the one swing thought you need is to shut your lower body. Make sure you're aimed right, and you're going to be swinging out. You're going to feel like you're swinging out to the right while releasing the club. But the main part that you need to think about is shutting down your lower body from the top. You can think of the golf swing as this way. If I want to fade the ball from the top of my swing, I need to spin my hips, my lower body, as hard as I can. That will make my path come more from the outside, probably over the top, and swinging a little bit harder to the left. Your arms, your hands are going to follow where your upper body goes. So if you need to draw it, what I would do, so I would feel like, again, aiming a little bit more right, maybe have the club face just smidgen I'm talking about. You don't even need to, because you could do this from a normal setup. But just think that your body at the top of the swing shuts down and the arms do the swinging. The arms just go and then the body kind of follows with it. That would be my swing thought, at least, as if I needed to hit a big draw or a hook. So let me know if that helps. If not, we could try to figure something else out. Okay, 3-putt double. Here we go. Sending again because I want to get roasted by Kyle tonight. What I'm looking for, more consistency in my ball striking. My alignment always fucking sucks, no matter how much I try to work on it, range and course. And any and all mental tips you have are welcome. All right, I like it. Okay, so first, next time you go out onto the golf course and you're not playing for anything and you have the ability to kind of practice while you're playing, throw down the alignment stick on the golf course while you're playing. You're going to feel dumb. You may get made fun of a little bit by your buddies, whatever. Let's just practice while you're playing. And this is the only way you're going to be able to kind of put these feelings into trusting it when you don't have that stick down and you're actually playing for something and means something. So I would continuously work on the alignment. I know you just said that no matter how much you work on it, range and course, it's just something you always, every time you practice, are going to need to work on. I've been playing this game for over 20-something years now, close to 30 years. And every time I practice, I still have to work on my alignment. My body naturally feels like aiming right is comfortable, but my upper body's shoulders are open. So it's not something that is a very uncommon thing, but that was what I would do. Okay, little hitch. You're working on being the pause king. Okay, so it's again a little. I can't tell if you're aimed right or not. The camera's just a little in a position that it looks like it's going to make it look like it's aimed right. So, and also I can't tell how much up and down you have going on. When I mean by up and down, your spine angle. I can't tell if you're in a spine angle or not. But if it feel like you're having, from what it looks like here, your upper body is aimed left and your lower body is aimed right, okay? So what that's going to do is that's going to make you have to reroute at some point. Because, again, like I always talk about, your ball, the ball is going to start where your shoulders are aimed typically. And if you start with your shoulders open from the beginning, they're typically going to end up open at impact too. So let's work on the setup a little bit. I know alignment, yada, 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 but let's try to feel like you have a spine angle. Maybe the right shoulder is kind of down just a little bit more. It'll bring that left shoulder in. You want to feel like your upper body shoulder line is matched up with your hip line, which is matched up with your knee line, which is matched up with your feet line. We don't want any of those lines to be crossed through the swing, through the setup, excuse me. You have a great takeaway, I will say. That's a great position. People strive to get into that position. So it looks like you go a little across your body there. So feel like, let's try to, instead of across your body so much, to see how your left arm is so across your body there. Let's try to feel like the hands go out more. Let's create a big arc more. That's going to help a little bit of distance. It also will shorten your swing just a little bit, help with that timing. So whatever you're doing here, you're trying to get that pause motion, which actually helps you a little bit because you actually kind of almost pick the club up a little bit more there. I mean, you got it in a great see how your shoulders are wide open. So the club has to follow that line. I mean, if you adjust it with your hands, which you probably are pretty good at doing at impact, you could hit it square pretty often. But the consistency and under pressure shots are they're gonna reflect, especially if your timing's off with this pause. So let's feel like at impact, your head is almost feels like you're going to feel like you're falling backwards, but the lower body's continuing moving forward with the shot. Okay, so it looks like you're just losing a lot of spine angle through the shot. See how high that finish was. So the finish should be going around just a little bit lower. That your hand should be almost still underneath the mountains in the background there. Okay, so it looks like to me it's just a case of from the beginning setup. Let's just get you more of a spine angle. Watch some of my face on videos and compare my face on with your face on, and tell me if your head is in the same position from the beginning as mine. Okay, so overall, good move. Like I said, you got a lot of good things going for you in this golf swing. So work on the setup, work on your spine angle. If you don't know what spine angle is, research the spine angle. And you're rotating around the spine angle throughout the entire swing. That's what makes my swing look so effortless, and also looks like I'm not swinging that hard, is because I'm using my full torque in my body to kind of use it as like a slingshot. Driver for Kyle to look at tonight. All right, we're with Matty Ice here. Looks like that's an Arizona course, huh? All right. Okay. So you look like a tall guy, and I can't tell if you're just reaching for the ball right now or if that's just because you're tall. But see how your hands already can see how from the beginning, see how your hands are going almost up and away from your body. We want your hands to almost stay closer to your body, and want that club to still be. Hold on. What am I trying to say here? Let me reword my words real fast. So you're underneath the plane is what I'm trying to say in a technical sense. And that's because the way you take it back, you're kind of hinging very early, it looks like maybe. Maybe with the grip is a little weak. It looks like your hands are on top of it, which is going to make you, especially your right hand. Your right hand's definitely on top of the ball. So just a little underneath the plane a little bit right there. Try to feel like the club head is just going up just a little bit more from the beginning. That won't make you be as laid off. But you're not that laid off. You're kind of more of a cupped. You have a unique swing. You don't see this swing too often. You have a cupped left wrist, and that's due to, I want to say, a very weak left hand grip. You make a great turn, but you have to. And then you go down after it nicely. I mean, that's a good position with the golf club. So you sit down on it, and then you have to kind of pop back up on it a little bit. So see how you have to flip through it a little bit? Yeah, you definitely have a weak grip. So, depending on what you're trying to get out of your golf swing, I bet you're pretty consistent with the little fader off the tee. If you're looking to get some more distance, I would definitely consider, one, taking it off that interlock that you got going, and then also playing around with a little bit stronger of a grip, and also getting that club up from the beginning just a little bit. But it looks like, you're creating a lot of power, especially from the ground. And, realistically, that's not a bad position. You could see how the club face is open, though. And that's because your grip is not allowing that bowed position through impact right there. So it's just going to keep the face open the entire time. Now, if you again, This is all if you want to maybe hit a little further and you want to turn the ball over a little bit. But you can play some serious, consistent golf with this move right here. I can imagine, because you're going to hit nothing but fades and eliminate the left side of the golf course a little bit. But let's try to get the club up just a little bit. Even with a weak grip, you can still get the club up a little bit. Okay. But overall, good swing. I bet you're probably right around scratch. Maybe a couple 1, 2, 3 handicap. Oh, my man. My man. Mr. Mike lost a lot. Coming in with the low angle. Coming in, you could tell he has not watched one of my streams. And this is definitely an old video of his using a persimmon. I know this guy personally. One of my favorite humans. Just a good person to know. Good person to be around. Always smiling. Actually, fun fact, this man, all those golf websites that you go to get tee times from, he's one of the creators of that. He's done okay for himself in the golf business, just to say that. Mike, let's look at your swing. I'm gonna try to give this best breakdown from this angle as possible, whether you watch this or not. I'm sure you're gonna comment to me when you see me next at Pavago. Little hinge, old school hinge inside, but you're using a persimmon, not wood, so you have to kind of do it differently. Let's look at impact. I mean, Mike, you're a baller. You already know this. How good is that? We're just releasing it straight in. What a good position. Look at the shoulders square. Look at his head down through impact. Good grip. I mean, just an absolute legend right here, folks. The pleasure to review this golf swing. Mike lost a lot, folks. And that's gonna do it, man. That's all the swings you guys got for me tonight. It's pretty simple. So, hope you guys have a great week. Again, tell somebody you love them this week. And if you ever need anything from me, if you want to talk, the DMs, I try to answer as many as I can. Don't hesitate to shoot me a DM. All right, guys, you guys have a great night. If you have any questions, again, hit me up in the Discord, post your swings, and I will see you next week. You guys have a great night. I'm going to cook up some food here.